Today we're talking about 5 ways the INFJ ages in reverse. Young INFJs are known to be old souls, but as a consequence, the INFJ actually ages in reverse when they get older. But that can only happen if the INFJ takes care of themselves in the right kind of way. It's not the typical thing you hear in mainstream media of how to take care of yourself. The INFJ has to make sure that they protect their energy and they actually start thriving in the right way. So today we're looking into 5 ways that will make sure that the INFJ ages in reverse. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide today. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Number 1, work on your boundaries. So boundary setting is important for everybody, but the INFJ in particular has to make this their main priority. And when we're talking about, maintaining boundaries, creating boundaries, it's all about putting it into action. Most INFJs tend to work through stuff in their mind. They tend to do research, tend to read about things. When it comes to INFJs, it's really about taking the action, having the uncomfortable conversation, saying no when others want something from you. Because we have to make sure that we start feeling our own energy. Every single person thrives through energy. The more energy you have, the younger you will feel, the younger you will look, the younger you'll just, experience life. So most people actually grow until their 20s and then they pretty much get stuck at that place and then they keep just getting older and having less and less energy. That's definitely not how it has to be. The biggest challenge here is for the INFJ to become aware what energizes him or her. What is actually the thing that makes you thrive? And in order to become aware of that, we have to pretty much set boundaries, because otherwise other people's energy just overflows us. We're so aware of what your best friend's problems are. We're so aware of all the drama that your cousin is going through, whatever it may be. If we are not making space for us, there's no way for our energy to thrive. So the number 1 priority that we have to set when it comes to aging in reverse is creating, setting, and maintaining boundaries. And that is all about taking action. How I always like to say, there has to be an externally observable fact. It's not enough for you to do healing work, to work through your trauma, to, journal. All of that is super important, but guess what? We as INFJs are going to do those things anyway. Like, we're good at these things. The things that we need to work on are those action steps, are actually things that are going to make a difference in the real world. Because once you start setting boundaries, you're going to get a pushback. It's going to feel uncomfortable. You have to set that boundary again. And only after a couple of times, the other person will have learned, okay, I cannot do this anymore because otherwise I will burn my finger. I don't like to push on that person's boundary, and people learn that instinctively after a while. And so every single time you're going to interact with that person again, you don't have to walk on eggshells anymore. You don't have to maintain so much energy to make sure that you're not rocking the boat anymore. And trust me, that additional energy that you now have available to you will definitely help you to age in reverse. Number 2, and we already addressed it in a way, is to step out of your inner work mode. You have to really understand that you as an INFJ are always going to be great at doing the inner work. You're going to be great at doing healing meditations. You're going to be great at working through traumas. You're going to be great at looking what is really going on, what people's real intentions are. Like, all of those things, they will come naturally to you. And you probably don't need to put additional effort into that. The thing that is keeping us from having more and more energy and aging in reverse is the action part. It's all about making a step happen in the real world. We are cerebral beings. We are really great at having those visions. We're also great at just, chilling and enjoying life and being observers. And I'm the last person who will tell you, you need to stop doing that. It's actually the opposite. The more actions you deliberately take in the real world to make sure that you're going towards your vision, the more you can daydream. I work much less than I used to. I have way more time and way more opportunities to create the life I want in my mind first, because I've made sure that I've taken the right steps. Like I always like to say, we as INFJs, we don't have to do all the steps. We just have to do the right steps. So really take it with you. You need to have externally observable facts. things you do in the real world. It has to be, I send out that application. I had that conversation with that person. I made sure that I set up not only a plan towards how much I want to save by the end of the year, but I actually put it in my account every single month. We need those real world things because they're going to make sure that our environment is going to continue energizing us instead of keep on draining us. And that's how we start aging in reverse. Number 3, start caring about wealth management. So wealth management is something that is very controversial when it comes to INFJs because it's everything but holistic. It's not this, oh, I want everybody to be happy. Let's focus on the important things in life. Let's make life about experiences. The INFJ by nature focuses on the real things, as in, how can I have good relationships? How can I make sure that I experience life in an exciting way, in a happy way? So when it comes to wealth management, it looks very superficial. There are those people who care about making money just for the sake of it, and it doesn't feel like anything we would ever want. There is no real understanding of that ambition. The problem here is that most things we see in media is not a representation of how, let's say, a wealthy INFJ would live their life. In the end, wealth management is energy. It gives you options, it gives you freedom. They give you the opportunity to take more control of power, of energy, and contribute it in a way that makes sense to you. You can be that person who's wealthy and full of integrity and who uses their wealth in a way that is positive, not just for yourself, but also for the people around you. That being said, of course, wealth is a very subjective term. It's not about saying, oh, you need to be a millionaire or you need to have this and this. The point is that you start caring about improving your wealth situation because that will make sure that you not only have more freedom and more options, but it will actually release you of stress because you already know you're not going to be that workaholic who puts career first, who doesn't care about relationships, who doesn't care about experiencing life. So if you start caring about wealth management, you're automatically are going to make it happen in a way that makes sense to you, in a healthy way, in a way that is sustainable, that's positive and full of integrity. Because if we don't look at it, if we don't start caring about it, we're going to be always stressed out about what we don't have. And the person who can actually care the least about wealth management is the person who doesn't worry about bills or things they would want and cannot create. And we all know stress ages you like nothing else. So if you want to make sure that you age in reverse, this is something you definitely have to take on at some point. Number 4, start sharing your gift with the world. So this is one of the things that most people really do not care about until they've taken care of a lot of things in their life. Now somebody is really established, they don't have any problems, everybody is happy. Oh, okay, now let me become a philanthropist. Let me do something for the greater good. For the INFJ, this part is actually something that sticks out way before. If we are really worried about, how am I going to pay the next bills or how are my relationships going, of course, we won't have enough energy to focus on this aspect of our lives, but it's still something that we strive for way before everything else is taken care of, right? We as INFJs, we always have this notion, oh, I have to bring my gift out somehow. I have to tap into my potential. I have to tap into my purpose. We're really longing for meaning and for vision. And so this has to become part of your life. Like when I started this channel, this wasn't something that I thought I was going to make money with. It wasn't something that I thought I could, quit my job for. At that moment, that was something that cost me something. It cost me energy, it cost me money, it cost me, giving up on other things, but it added so much to my life because it gave me the opportunity to share my gift with the world in one way or another, right? It doesn't have to be a YouTube channel. It can be, doing something with the people around you, but it really gave me the opportunity to start sharing in a way that makes sense to me. I wasn't looking to the outside and saying, that's what that person needs, so I'm going to change myself in order to make sure they're good. Those are the situations that INFJs get into over and over again, and those are the situations when we get drained so much. But if you take on something that allows you to share your gift with the world one way or another, as I said, it doesn't have to be on a big scale, but it has to be authentic to you. When you start doing this, it will energize you like nothing else. You will wake up excited about the day. You will wake up with a mission, with a purpose, with a vision. And it's not just something that stays in your head, but it's something that can be executed. And when you start start being in this mode, you're actually getting in the flow. And once you're in that flow, it's the biggest thing that will help you to age in reverse. I can definitely tell you, I feel way more vibrant now than I felt 10 years ago. It's just a different kind of energy when you start living in your purpose. And it doesn't have to be the main thing in your life that you do, as your full-time business. It's about planting that seed and committing to this part of your life, because it adds so much energy, so much excitement, and so much livelihood into your day-to-day that it's, something that will definitely keep you young for a long time. It will be something that will keep you motivated. And I really see the difference between people who have found that, who are taking this on, and people who haven't. And when it comes to us INFJs, this is an aspect that will pop up way more often than it does for other people. And if you constantly think, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, this would actually add to my life, and you're not doing this, this additionally drains your energy. So just start taking the first step. It's really not about the result you create, it's about showing up to that aspect of your life. And number 5, come to terms with the fact that you need a lot of alone time. So INFJs know that they need a lot of alone time, but they still feel guilty for it. There's always this notion of, oh, I'm different when it comes to this. I'm not like everybody else. Why am I not like everybody else who wants to meet up, who's, part of some groups and is all excited about seeing other people all the time? And so you always have those conflicting, thought processes. On the one hand, you want to spend time alone. On the other hand, it sort of feels wrong. And the point here is that this discrepancy is actually stressing you out and it's draining you extremely. On the other hand, if you allow yourself to really lean into this and see it as part of your identity and not as something that is wrong with you, you will actually start creating connections on a completely different level. Because then when you start creating connections with people, you're doing it because it adds something to your life. You're not doing it out of obligation. You're not doing it because of some guilt trips. You're doing it because it will improve your life. And it all starts with you being by yourself, being okay with being by yourself, having this independent phase of your life and understanding like, I'm okay like this. Like I can make sure that, I'm taking care of myself. I have the energy that I want, and this is peaceful. And then when you start creating connections or when you alter already existing dynamics, you will see that you will create them in a way that they only add to your life, because you're already going to be okay with having little to no contact. Like you're good this way. You don't have people who stress you out. You learn to be okay with that version of yourself, not feel guilty about it, not feel like there's something wrong with you. And then you'll see that new kinds of dynamics start popping up that add to your life, and they would look differently than, what most people think they would look like. So for me, for example, once I quit my job like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was, doing this job, I was talking to a lot of INFJs online. I had one-on-one clients at that moment. And this already gave me so much connection to people. Like I didn't need the day-to-day office kind of, contact. I didn't need to meet people in the real world all the time. And I had everything I needed when it came to connections. And so I was able to create an energy surplus for me, which made me have more and more energy with every single day. And that in itself made me age in reverse. Remember, if you want some guidelines how to get that process started so you have more energy as an INFJ and start creating the life you always wanted, then get the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life Formula. And if you want to go really deep and say, now's the time I'm going to change my life, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video Why the INFJ's Life Gets Better with Age.